بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وهو خير ناصر ومعين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. Welcome to Perspective. We are looking at Mubahila as we just had the event of Mubahila a couple of days ago. Amazing event, as we said, a great day. Mubahila actually comes from the Arabic word as bahla, which means curse. It was actually the practice in the past, in the Islamic tradition as well. This sort of act of this practice continued, which was basically an ancient practice of mutually and formally calling God's curse on the liars. And the Prophet had sent a letter to the Christians of Najran, to the Grand Bishop of Najran, whose name was Abdul Haris ibn al-Qama, that he accepts Islam as Prophet. Was a messenger, as he was inviting, and he was the representative of the Roman Catholic Church, of the Roman Church in Hijaz. There, finally, he did not, and then he sends a delegation to the Prophet to really debate. And we said that they came, and what happened in terms of their dress and so on and so forth, the garments and their sort of gear that they were wearing. And finally they got that permission to really speak to the Prophet. Prophet tried to deliver the arguments. The verses of the Quran talks about it in regards to the Son of God, and in regards to the likeness of Jesus is the likeness of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, as he created him from dust. From Hazrat Adam, the same way, when God says kun fayakun, it happens. In the same way, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was born without a father, but they did not. They rejected. They persisted. They were sort of very stubborn in terms of their belief. And finally, he says, "Okay, fine. Let's be so that what we're gonna do is we're gonna faman hajjuka. Let's." Whoever argues, hujjat arguing, whoever argues with you about it after this knowledge have come to you of Hazrat Adam and Hazrat Isa alayhi salam and all that, have given you, call your children abnana wa abnaakum wa nisana wa nisaakum wa anfusana wa anfusakum, and thumma nabtahil, right? فَجَعَلَ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. Next day, that's where we reached. Fakhr Razi reports, others also report, but I'm using the Tafsir Kabir of Fakhr Razi. Fakhr Razi says that when Prophet came out the next day with with the Prophet was Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Siddiqa Kubra, the daughter of the Prophet, Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha, behind the Prophet, and behind Siddiqa Kubra was Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. And Prophet came out of the Masjid al-Nabawi and he recited the verse Innama yuridullah, the ayat here, and he said that this is Ahlul Bayt. He introduced Ahlul Bayt then and there. After introducing the Ahlul Bayt, then he is going towards the event of Mubahila, which is pointing out to that Abna'ana is Hasan wal Hussein, Nisa'ana is Siddiqa Kubra. But Tafsir Mizan, Allama Tabatabai says that wa anfusana wa anfusakum. What is this anfusana wa anfusakum? Prophet is already there, right? Prophet is already there. Now he says, ourself and yourself. Who is this ourself? This Nafs al-Rasul. You have Amirul Mu'mineen there. Abna is there, Nisa is there. Wa anfusana wa anfusakum. Only Prophet should be going there. But Prophet took Amirul Mu'mineen and he's saying wa anfusana wa anfusakum. And here and in other traditions as well, he says Amirul Mu'mineen is the Nafs al-Rasul. Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib is Nafs al-Rasul, is that very essence of the Prophet. O Ali, no one knows you except me and Allah, and no one knows me, Ali, except you and Allah. أنفسنا nafs. Nafs al-Rasul is the Amirul Mu'mineen, is Prophet Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So here when Prophet approached the participants of those who call the, those who called or those who regard Isa alayhi salam as the son of God, and they were arguing and they were persistent in terms of their argument, here Prophet says, let's have that final mubahala, the event of calling curse. When Prophet went there, and here it says that those Christians, they saw this state, this ubuhat, this grand march of Ahl Bayt from Masjid Nabawi towards the makan of mubahala. In olden period there was, one could really see that how far is Masjid Nabawi to mubahala, and one could really picture and imagine. But today, unfortunately, we can't. There's all roads being constructed there and so on and so forth, right? So here, carrying Hussein in his arm, with holding Hassan's hand, alayhim salam, and may our lives be sacrificed, followed by Siddiqa Kubra and Ali Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam behind, covered himself and his family with a cloak. Once again, that symbolic aspect. This hadith is from Muslim ibn Hajjaj, Sahih Muslim. Chapters of virtues of companions. In that section, you would find this hadith. This book was published by Saudi Arabia, right? Which talks about this event, which talks about Imam Hassan, which talks about Imam Hussein, Fatima, and Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. So he offered, to do the Arabic tradition of mubahala, right? And then he moves forward. The Christians, they consulted each other, and Abdul Haris ibn Alqama, who was the head of this delegation that came, they said, that's it. He kind of like said, no way. If we go any further, we will be doomed. We will be cursed, right? So the Christians refused to engage in this event of mubahala. And look at the mercy of the Prophet. Look at the humble nature of the Prophet. Look at the amount of freedom that Prophet gives, even to the non-believers. Then the Christians consulted each other and they said, we should not go for it. Christians refused for it. And then our Prophet gave them two alternatives. Either that they convert to Islam, or to pay jizya, or to pay a tax on free, being free non-Muslims under Muslim rule. Simple as that. You are a Christian, you are free to practice, but you got to pay a tax, under that Muslim rule. Two options for you. You still have the freedom by paying a jizya. You just pay that and you practice what you're practicing. How humble, how unique, the Prophet handled this situation. Prophet could have insisted and persisted. Now that you came, no way, let's call the curse regardless of. No, Prophet said no. You have that freedom to do so. You convert, la ikraha fid din. You cannot force, right? And then Prophet said, fine. You have, on the other hand, if you want to, stay and on your belief, pay the jizya. The Christians continued, asking the Prophet, to send with them a trustworthy man to aid them in judging monetary disputes amongst themselves. So therefore, Prophet appointed Abu Ubadah bin al-Jarrah out of a large group of willing and hopeful contenders So this is also recorded in history in one of the books that bin al-Jarrah was sent with them in order to really attend to the needs of the Christians. Now, let me read you a tradition from Sahih Muslim. It says, the hadith has been narrated on the authority of Shu'bah with the same chain of transmitters. Amir bin Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas reported on the authority of his father that Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan appointed Sa'ad as the governor and said, what sort of prevents what prevents you from abusing Abu Turab, Ali ibn Abi Talib, whereupon we said that it is because of three things. Right, as you know that Hazrat Amir was cursed from the pulpit, right, during the time of the Umayyads. I remember Allah's Messenger having said about him that I would not abuse him. And even if I find one of those three things for me, it would be more dear to me than the red camel. I heard Allah's Messenger say about Ali as he left behind him in one of his campaigns, that was Tabuk. He was appointed in Medina and Prophet went to Tabuk. He says, Messenger, you leave me behind along with women and children. Thereupon Allah's Messenger said to him, aren't you satisfied with being unto me what Aaron was unto Moses? Because people were making fun of Amirul Mu'minin that you are left behind, and Prophet replied this way, right? But with this exception that there is no prophet after me. You're like Aaron to Moses, but no prophet after me. I also heard him say on the day of Khaybar, I would certainly give this standard to a person who loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love him too. The narrator said, we had been anxiously waiting for it, but the Prophet called Ali, and he was called and his eyes were inflamed. He applied saliva to his eyes and handed over the standard to him, and Allah gave him nusra, victory. The third occasion is the worst. Now this is where I want to conclude. Let us summon our children and your children, wa abna'ana wa abna'akum. And Allah's Messenger, peace be upon, called Ali, Fatima, Hassan and Hussein, wa anfusana wa anfusakum, and all that. Oh Allah, they are my family. Who said this? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. And in where this is recorded? In Sahih Muslim. Very clear. The Ahl Bayt. So now, from where this 3 points in regards to what? Where Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib is being cursed from the pulpit. They say that Ali was called, Ali was given the standard, in Khaybar. Ali was the one who was appointed to be the leader when Prophet went on Tabuk, towards Rome. And Prophet mentioned, it's amazing, this hadith. And this hadith also records the event of Mubahala. So Mubahala is an event. Mubahala is a great event, a great victorious event against those who are, non-believers. without any bloodshed. It points out to this amazing victory of the principles of Tawheed, of oneness of God. Once again, who are the one who have raised the banner of Tawheed? It is Fatima, Ali or Fatima, Hassan or Hussein. Obviously with Nabiyana wa Ali, Nabi, our Prophet, may our lives be sacrificed to Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. So here you go, the helpers of Tawheed. And we have seen this, this Mubahala was just one event, but this Mubahala was repeated over and over again in different forms, in different eras. This Mubahala, from the Mubahala of 5 to the Mubahala of Karbala. As we are approaching Muharram, it is quite near, and I would just kind of point out to a few important few important points in regards to the month which is coming, with the establishment, with the declaration of Ghadir, with the establishment of the Ahl Bayt and the victory of Mubahala. Now we are approaching the month of Muharram. So when we are approaching the month of Muharram, we must recognize, we must understand that, if we want to uphold to our Ghadiri principles, to our Mubahili principles, we must be ready for sacrifice. And that is the sacrifice, the way how Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam gave. Deen of Islam, the voice of truth, believing in our faith and being steadfast in our faith and Iman requires a great deal of sacrifices. And this is the month to teach us the sacrifice. And we must really learn from. We must be accommodating. We must be accommodating to all those who are coming, all those who want to contribute towards the Azadari of Imam Hussein, all those who want to contribute. We must be very careful of how we approach the issue. We must not say something that will repel, that will really dishearten those who are attending the gathering. Particularly in this era where we see that those who wants to create trouble for Muslims, they are fueling the Muslims with the thought of dividing them, ikhtilafat, right, from both sides. So we have to be very careful of that. We must be accommodating. It is the majlis of Imam Hussein, and everyone have a place there, right? And they come there with the love of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. So the month of Zil Hijjah, the great month, so many unique special events, Hajj, Eid, Arafah, Ghadir, Mubahala, the descent of Surah Al-Hata is also in Ghadir. And finally, after all of these unique events, we approach the month of Muharram. Inshallah, we hope and pray that our viewers have benefited from our talk tonight in regards to the event of Mubahala, and we hope to see you again next week with more programs. And please do write to us, in regards to these programs, and we will be having a special relay in the month of Muharram. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week again. Goodbye from Hidayat, and I will end up with a dua, as this will be the last program in the month of Zil Hijjah, and then the Muharram will be beginning. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma nawwir dhahiri bi ta'atik, wa batini bi muhabbatik, wa qalbi bi ma'rifatik, wa ruhi bi mushahadatik, وسر الاستغلال اتصالي بحضرتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة لأرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات. والسلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.